31, Section 40, the general laws of the Commonwealth, an act relative to the protection of the wetlands, as most recently amended. Notice of time and place of this hearing was published in the Fairhaven Neighborhood News on August 17, 2023. It was also posted in the town clerk's office. Persons wishing to be heard will be called in the following order. This public hearing is now called to order at 6 p.m. on August 23rd, 2023. And tonight we have with us a full commission for the first time since I've been on in 4 years. New member, Eric DeBarros, James Souza, Heidi Pelletier, your chairman, Ryan Resendes, vice chair, Everett Filler, Christian D'Souza, and Doug Thomas, our agent, Pat Hannon.
Welcome aboard. Thank you.
And first order of business minutes for approval, May 24th, 2023. Reviewing matters presented, votes may be taken. Me and Everett were the only ones present at that meeting. Everett made some changes, small change.
So it doesn't matter, everyone can sign the minutes if they want.
Okay. Yeah,
They don't have to, but they're allowed to.
I make a motion may be accepted as corrected.
And I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next, meeting mail.
I wasn't in all week, so no.
Oh,
meeting,
okay,
yeah.
no meeting mail. All right, here we go. Old business. Acushnet Company, 115 Manchester Lane. Request for minor plan revisions, Visitor Center, SE 0010571. The applicant seeks a determination from the commission as to whether the revisions require an amended order of conditions. Reviewing matters presented, votes may be taken. Mr. Madden, floor is yours.
Good evening, late afternoon. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Bill Madden from GAF on behalf of the Acushnet Company. Also with me is Kevin Kelly from the Acushnet Company as well. We had that on-site meeting on Saturday. The purpose of that meeting, for all of you that went there, was just to go over what we had shown as plan changes on our record set of plans. All the plan changes as we described in the field were outside the buffer zone. They were relatively minor in nature, and they didn't involve the addition of any impervious surfaces, any increase in stormwater, what have you. It was really just a coordination effort between the various trades, the electrical, the plumbing guys, the gas piping, drainage, and what have you, and some other minor modifications like sidewalk locations for pedestrian access, things of that nature. But all those activities we tried to point out in the field were outside the 100-foot buffer zone and didn't result in any changes. So we felt that they were all generally minor in nature, but we were obligated to come back before the commission per the order of conditions to discuss the plan changes. And we're seeking a determination from the commission that they're relatively insignificant and would not warrant the need for an amended order of conditions. And if you have any questions about what you saw out there on Saturday, other than the ones you asked in the field, happy to answer them.
I'm all good.
Pretty good.
I have no questions.
You got anything to add, Pat?
As I said, every time they come in, they do five-star work. They
Yeah.
spare no expense, and that's why I made the recommendation I made.
Right. Yeah, no, that was very transparent. There was one minor change in our jurisdiction, and it was so minor that what do you say? No action required, really, right? Just
Just find it to be a minor amendment, and that they do the project in accordance with the new approved plans.
yeah. That sounds good to me.
Yep, those are the updated drawings that have been used by the contractor on the site, so we're all reading from the same sheet of music, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right. So
Someone needs to make a motion.
I'll motion.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Very good, we'll keep you posted as the progress continues on and go from there. Thanks very much for your time, much appreciated.
No problem.
Have a good evening.
All right. New business. Public hearing. Notice of intent. Norman and Maria Fadat, 185 Mattapoisett Road. Map 10, Lot 12A, SE file number 0010586. A notice of intent was filed by Norman and Maria Fadat for property located at 185 Mattapoisett, map 10, lot 12A. The applicant proposes to construct a new dwelling and complete the connection to an existing septic system. The applicant is represented by David Fredette, Fredette Engineering. Plan name is Notice of Intent Submission Plan dated August 8th, 2023. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm excluding myself from this one.
Okay. And we have one abstaining, and Mr. Fredette, the floor is yours.
My name's Dave Fredette, for the record, the engineer for the Norman and Maria. We did I don't know if I have to show you the plan. I have a copy of it here. The site in the rear of the existing trailer is where most of the activity was going on. And we had to do a new notice of intent with new flags, new notice of the butters, the whole thing. That has all been accomplished. Plan has been submitted. I did have to file a revised page 3 on the notice to change the square footage on the bordering vegetative wetlands. I don't know if Joanne got that. If Joanne got that. Other than that, I'm assuming this is a straightforward thing with a dwelling development. But if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Do you have the revised drawing with you? You didn't have, you said you had a revised drawing.
No,
that showed the changes to the wetland and.
Well, since you were on the site visit,
Yeah.
that drawing that you looked at, which is this one, is the revised drawing. It's the latest
That
drawing.
was the accurate drawing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the only revision I'm talking about is on the actual notice of intent, WPA Form 3, page 3. There was one thing that was pointed out to me by the DEP, so I
I just
corrected
thought-
that.
I wasn't sure if that showed the change to the wetland delineation, that was all.
Don't you have
That
the
drawing.
2 sets of flags on that plan?
Yeah.
The old
Yeah, there
flags,
was-
yeah, it's on the,
Okay.
I'm not,
Yeah, the
I'm
old
not
flag,
sure
we
what
have
your
the old
question
flag
is.
line.
If there's anybody
Oh, all right.
from the
Yeah, oh, yeah.
public that hasn't seen the plan.
Right. Is there anybody here from the public to speak on this item?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, it was pretty straightforward in my eyes. I mean,
Definitely.
so with that, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close.
Second.
And there's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. And I'll entertain a motion to issue a notice of intent with the standard conditions.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Okay, thank you very much.
Very good. All right. Next, public hearing to amend order of conditions for Nelson and Nancy Viveras. Grading within the 100-foot buffer zone to a bordering vegetated wetland. The applicant is represented by David Davignon of Schneider Davignon and Leon Incorporated. Plan name is Sewer Disposal System Site Plan dated March 22nd, 2023, revised August 7th, 2023. CD Davignon.
I didn't see them either.
Maybe he thought the site was doing so well he didn't need to come, I don't know.
No, he said he was showing. Oh, here he is now.
Okay. Let's stand by.
You weren't on your deck again, were you?
Dave, you're
Yeah, he was a guy.
all right, is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Amended order conditions.
Okay.
Which one?
A few minutes late wouldn't matter.
Mr. Davignon, the floor is yours.
I'll set up this. Let's see. green cards for the record.
Thank you.
Is there no mic over here? Do I have to yell or?
No,
They're in
I
the
think
ceiling
he's
now.
sitting.
Oh, okay. I have extra plans. For those
Yeah,
don't have enough to go around.
We'll share.
We'll share.
Yeah, I figured so.
No worries.
I already have 2 for the record, but split
you.
them. So for the record, I'm Dave Vignan, Schneider Vignan Leone. I represent Nelson and Nancy Viveras. This is a request for an amended order of conditions. Project was approved several months back. I don't recollect when, I think it was last fall. Under that order of conditions, they were approved for the construction of a single-family home, driveway, accessory barn, shed, in-ground pool, basically all the bells and whistles that someone would want. They decided to change their house, the size of the house. It's a downsize. It was L-shaped in size before. Now it's more rectangular in shape. And they also wanted to reorientate the way the house is placed on the lot. I've provided a board to you to see the before and after. This is the plan that was approved in the past, whereas the house was more of a southeast northwest direction facing the road. Long driveway to a garage in the back. Is an L-shaped house. They've now switched to more of a conventional rectangle with a breezeway and a garage off to the south, kind of parallel to the road, so it was twisted and rotated up to the north. The pool was rotated 90 degrees instead of going out the long way. It's now parallel to the back of the house. We pulled the barn away from the wetlands, more squared up and rotated in a clockwise direction. Same with the leaching field. Before it was up on the north side of the house. Now it's on the west side between the house and the road. This green line represents the 100-foot buffer zone. Same on this location here. The green, the dark green represents the buffer zone that was allowed, that we proposed. They stuck with the same exact limits of clearing. Under that order, as you saw on Saturday, those who were there, they clear cut the lot. Erosion control is in place. They have the DEP sign up, and we had the house staked and the well. The next step is to have the well installed. They have a contractor coming in for that. But given the complete change in the house, change in the driveway, everything changed on the site. It is a reduction in driveway, it's a reduction in house footprint. So we're here to amend the order of conditions, to get an amended order of conditions issued, so they can proceed with the left-hand plan instead of the right-hand plan. So if that's pretty much the project. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions?
No?
Pat, any questions?
So this involves, this is Bob Medeiros' daughter from the Board of Health, and Dave is the chairman of the Board of Health. I'm the assistant board director, assistant health agent. So I'm gonna not have any comment on this tonight.
Okay. Anybody from the public wish to comment on this? All right. The site looked good. I mean, like Mr. DeVignan said, there's going to be less impervious surface on the site, and it's not. I mean, it's not a bad thing for their whole stormwater system there. So, with that, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Anybody from the public?
I already asked.
you
Okay.
mentioned it.
Yeah, nobody.
I was asleep.
It's okay. I'll entertain. Okay.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, and I'll entertain a motion to issue an amended order of conditions.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 That's unanimous.
With the still same standard conditions that are always out there?
Yes.
Correct. Thank you, Tony.
All right.
You better than that.
Oh,
All right, up next, public hearing. RDA, Estate of William Birch, 5 Tilly Way, map 14, lot 4A. A request for determination was filed by the estate of William Birch for property located at 5 Tilly Way, map 14, lot 4A. The applicant proposes to install a Title V compliant septic system, which includes a new septic tank, pump chamber, and leaching area within the 100-foot buffer zone of a bordering vegetated wetland. The applicant is represented by David DeVignan of Schneider, DeVignan and Leone Incorporated. Plan name is Sewage Disposal System Repair Plan dated August 7th, 2023. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion to open. Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Excuse me, Chairman, I'm gonna have to excuse myself from this project.
Okay, we have one accusing themselves. And Mr. DeVignan, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the record. Dave DeVignan, Schneider, DeVignan, Leone, representing the estate of William Birch. This property was owned by William Birch. It has been sold under Title V of the State Sanitary Code. They have to upgrade the septic if it doesn't pass Title V. They bypassed doing a Title V given the history of the home, how old it is, the unknown of the septic system located to the west of the house. And they're going right into the proposal before you, which is a request for determination of applicability. We seek a negative determination for the upgrade of the septic system. There's an off-site wetland to the west. We had Brad Holmes of Ecological Restoration flag that wetland. What you see on the board is a 50-foot offset line from said wetland, as well as the 100-foot buffer zone. And all of the work will occur outside the 50-foot setback line that we show in that plan. The septic tank and pump chamber, they have to be a certain distance from the slab foundation, so they'll be located within the buffer zone, probably about, it looks like about 60 feet from the wetlands. So there'd be a septic tank, pump chamber, and then a forced main pumping it up to the leaching field. The leaching field is greater than 75 feet from the wetlands. It will actually be a mounded field surrounded by keystone block walls, and that's proposed so that we can preserve the garden fence that's in place, as well as the arborvitaes. There's a pretty extensive arborvitae line to the west, and we'll have to modify the driveway. Comes in at a kind of a Y angle. We're going to modify that and make it more perpendicular so that we can shoehorn in the new leaching field over the test pit that was done. It's all in the lawn area, partially in the gravel driveway. Very minimal disturbance within the buffer zone. So therefore, we're seeking a negative determination.
Anybody from the commission? Comments, questions?
I think we covered everything pretty much on Saturday through the walkthrough. We look good.
Anybody from the public wish to comment? Yeah, it's a pretty open site. It's pretty straightforward. I didn't have any issues with the site. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so I'll entertain a motion to issue a negative determination to 5 Tilly Way.
So moved.
Second?
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we do have a new requirement for signs for RDA,
That's right.
so we need to go in to give us the number for the signs.
I have an approval letter. I have an approval letter I sent
Yeah,
out.
that's right, we did
Yeah.
vote that, yep. All right, next public hearing, RDA 7 Tilly Way, map 14, lot 4K. A request for determination was filed by 7 Tilly Way LLC for property located at 7 Tilly Way, map 14, lot 4K. The applicant proposes to install a Title V compliant septic system, which includes a pump chamber and leaching area within the 100-foot buffer zone of a bordering vegetated wetland. The applicant is represented by David DeVignan of Schneider, DeVignan and Leone Incorporated. Plan name is Sewage Disposal System Repair Plan dated August 7th, 2023. Mr. DeVignan, the floor is yours.
Yes, excuse me, Chairman, may I recuse myself from this one also?
Yes, you can.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, for the record, Dave Davignon, Schneider Davignon Leone, representing 7 Tilly Way LLC. This property is right next door to the last property. This property was also part of the same estate as the last property, the Birch Estate. 7 Tilly Way LLC is the new property ownership. It's care of Paul Mitchell. There's an existing commercial building there. It's Mitchell Concrete. Anybody knows, the concrete business, Mr. Mitchell's been doing concrete work for the last 30 years in the local area. This used to be Billy Birch's concrete commercial building as well. That structure's been there for decades. That structure has a septic system to the rear of the property, the north, which consists of a concrete septic tank and then a leaching pit. Leaching pit is in the water table, needs to be upgraded to Title V compliance. The property also has a 2-bedroom mobile home to the east of that building that's been there for some time. That has a cesspool to the southwest corner of the mobile home. That's also located in the groundwater. So the plan is to upgrade, both take out the leaching pit and the cesspool by pumping and filling them, crushing them in place, replacing them with a new raised leaching field. So there'll be the installation of a 1,500-gallon septic tank as well as a 1,000-gallon pump chamber and then a mounded leaching field. There'll actually be a concrete wall poured between the commercial building to retain the fill for the raised system. We're going to allow a 6-foot gap between the two. Since the owner is in the concrete business, we're proposing a concrete wall. He can do that himself. On the board, as you see, we have a wetland line flagged off-site to the north and east. Flags 1 through 4 were put up as a continuation of another flag line that was put up for the abutting property, the Barrows' property. From there, you'll see there's a 50-foot arc that we have for the offset of that wetland. No work's being done within 50 feet. We're between the 50 and the 100 foot for the activity. Most of the leaching field will be outside of the buffer zone with some of it slightly in the buffer zone. So we're greater than 75 feet for the leaching field. A septic tank and pump chamber probably about 60 to 65 feet away from the wetlands. There'll be a forced main from the pump chamber put up to the leaching field to connect everything together. We're proposing to leave the septic tank in place for the commercial building and take the pipe from the leaching pit, put that into the new septic tank. So that's the project. If there are any questions, we have to answer.
Anyone?
No, I mean, this is everything you explained on the walkthrough on Saturday, and it was really good to visualize everything, and I think we're in good shape.
Anybody from the public? Questions, comments? All right, so with that, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearings.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, and I'll entertain a motion to issue a negative determination.
A motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good.
All right. Stormwater.
So late edition.
Hey, you want these back?
No, give him for the file.
He doesn't want them. After that email came in from EPA for the annual report, that triggered my memory that we had a short week to run this ad and have a public hearing for the public outreach. So Joanne looked at the calendar, it's doable for our next meeting. Okay. We've got some language from another town for the ad. She run it, and it'll be on for our next meeting.
Good.
And then we're gonna put the other stuff into play that Kevin McHugh talks about last time of getting some pamphlets out to the library, town clerk's office, getting it on the stormwater website for the town, get it to the library, council on aging. I've talked to them, everything's good, so
Good.
we won't miss the mark this year.
Excellent. All right.
Gonna be compliance, right?
We wanna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Right.
Discussion. Sincarpa Park Drive LLC, Lambert Street, a butter notification and new ad for September 13th, 2023 meeting.
Yep. So, I hope the third time's a charm. In error, Weston and Sampson, when they sent out the abutters notices, didn't put the abutters notice in the envelope. They put the special conditions that I sent to Weston and Sampson as a recommendation. So they sent those to the public. It was never intended to go to the public. So I got a few calls from Mark Morad and a few others called and said, why did I get this? And I didn't think to ask whether the abutter notification in the envelope as well. After the meeting, Joanne got calls from several people on Park Drive saying, I didn't get a notice of the meeting, I got this stupid piece of paper with some conditions on it. So we notified Weston and Sampson. They've sent out new abutters notices. There's a new ad being run, and hopefully this is the final public hearing for Lambert Street.
All right. Senior clerk update. For new commission members, review of matters presented, votes may be taken.
I had asked you if I could speak about that. I just wanted to get the new commission members. I know they supported it last time at the meeting, that's what jogged my memory. And I just wanted to ask if they would be in support in putting a vote back on the table, just so I can have it for the record, where I had the support of the commission the last time. So I just thought maybe that would be, just a good idea to get that out there if they were in support of it. I know you two spoke up in favor, but I just thought it was a good idea to just keep my paperwork in check.
This is sorry if I speak out.
No, go ahead.
This is regarding the raise still, Joanne?
Yeah,
This
we
is
have-
what we're referring to?
Yeah, we have a job questionnaire that's out there now, so it's moving in the right direction. So we have to submit that by, I think it's August 31st. So I just wanted to make sure, just check if everybody was still in favor of that support. And hopefully the job description speaks for itself, with the additional duties from stormwater.
Just so everybody remembers, this would be the third time that the commission's been asked to do this. And the second time, the commission voted, we actually filled out the personnel action form, the PAF. And I delivered the personnel action form to the town administrator, and he signed it. So if it was good in July of 2022, I really don't understand, why this has taken so long.
Right.
And it really resulted in everybody junior to Joanne. Joanne's been here for 33 years. She's been here since she was 18 years old. Not to tell you how old you are. Since she was 18. She's the senior employee in the town of Acushnet. All of the junior clerks below her got elevated to senior clerk. So what she's making, and she didn't get her elevation to her raise, and it's been over a year. So, I don't know what that rhyme is about getting off the pot, but it's time.
Right. Well, I was in favor the last two times, so I know I'm still in favor. Joey does a great job.
But then,
Yeah, I mean, if
Well, I
if
don't
you
know
need a
if it needs to be
motion
a vote, but for me personally, I just thought, I didn't want to have an issue just
Voice
saying that I didn't
support.
have anybody's
It's
support
not an
from
issue.
I think it goes beyond that.
commission.
I think it goes to asking either the town administrator or the chairman of the board of selectmen to come to a meeting and give you guys an answer on where it's headed.
I
It's been a
reached out
year.
to, when Mr. Hinckley's here,
Yeah, I know, I
I reached out to Mr. Hinckley
so-
about it, and I think, that with the
I'm
union,
close.
we have to follow the union procedure. I think we're at that point now for all the clerks and all the union people involved here, so I'm just hoping and crossing my fingers that the job description, what I've taken on proves itself. I have the signed PAF. I mean, have the commission's support,
Letters.
right?
Joanne, I think hands down, I think everyone here at the table supports what you do.
Right,
And I think having someone here from that office to invite them to speak on behalf of where they stand, is there a decision made? Why is this even a discussion? And what I would like to see included in this is to be loud and clear, is this in fact a retroactive pay? We've been down this road several times, and I don't understand why this is such a debate for these people.
Well, I will include all of that paperwork with the job description submittal. I don't know if they'll accept it, but I'm thinking, I can't speak for Mr. Hinckley, but I think I can send that in.
You can.
With all the requirements that I have, you know, the job description, the new responsibilities, everything like that, I'll include all of that in there, you know, and again, the support from here.
But this will be the second time you've sent that in.
Right, and the last PDF is dated July 2022.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So,
And last but not least, we wouldn't run without you, so.
thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I
Mr.
may?
Hinckley, the floor is yours.
Bob Hinckley, Board of Selectmen. I 100% support Joanne. I completely do. The way the union works, we have to handle grievances or requests in a certain order. I've only been on the board for a year, a little over a year. I've already taken care of 2 of them. Joanne's in queue. I've always supported her, I've told her that, and I've spoken to multiple members of this board that I've supported this. So I am working on it. I don't want you to think I'm not. I'm not the chairman, so I can't speak for the entire board, I can only speak for myself. Very clear, I fully support this. I have to do things as the AFSCME representative from the town. I have to do things in the order that they're presented to me. And when unions are involved, we have to make sure all parties are aligned. That conversation, Mr. Thomas, about retroactive hasn't even been broached yet. My process to get things done has to go in a certain order. I will bring that to the attention when we bring it up.
Fair enough.
But I support Joanne, I support this PAF. I'm working on an actual package to put together to make this happen the right way, the legal way, and to make sure it meets union requirements and town requirements.
I mean, she's fulfilling the requirements of
I
of
100%
an
agree.
administrative assistant.
Yeah,
She
I 100% agree.
She's well
And I've
beyond-
spoken to her about that, and I'm working on the process right now. I've been on the board, like I said, for a year,
yeah.
and I've been handling them as they come. Bureaucracy is slow, and I'm doing everything I can. I promise.
I think I heard last night that government is a process.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you
Of
being
course.
here.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bob.
Listen,
being
as you
open
know, I
about
show
it,
up to your
because,
meetings
you know,
just as much as I show up to my meetings, because conservation's a big part of me. I've been in this town, my family's been in this town since this has been a Acushnet. It was Fairhaven when my family moved here. This town will always be my town, and anybody that supports the heritage and the protection of our town has my support.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Bob.
Well, so it's on record, that's unanimous.
Absolutely.
All right, agent updates.
Lake Street. So the commission needs to know that there's been a number of attempts to bypass the commission here and do work at Lake Street in regards to the weed abatement. I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I got an email from the chairman of the Lake Street Committee asking if they could do a demonstration project on a Sunday at Lake Street and do some hydro raking to show the commission how well it works. And then they're doing a project in Lakeville, that's why they were available to come over here. And I actually laughed when I read it, because if a company's really in the business and they're qualified doing this work, they should know that you need permits to do it. You can't just hop over on a Sunday and start ripping weeds out of the reservoir. You know, it just doesn't happen. So I thought it was a bit of a setup, so I didn't respond. I contacted the chairman, and the chairman can tell you that he contacted me.
Yep.
And I said, Brian, this really doesn't make sense. If they were qualified, they'd know better than to ask for this approval. And besides, New Bedford needs to be notified. Under the MOU with New Bedford, they need to approve everything. And they were very skeptical about the chemical treatment of the reservoir, and still are. I think as most of the commission was. So I've notified the conservation agents in New Bedford that this is going on, and that they really need to be careful and make sure that they get notification and reinforce their MOU with the town administrator. But I also subscribe to the MEPA, Mass Environmental Policy Agency's notifications, and I would encourage you all to sign up for it, because you get to see what projects are going on statewide that require water quality certifications and EPA 404 water quality certs, environmental notification forms, and one came out today, and I read it, and I'll make copies of this and send it to the commission tomorrow, Friday, and we can discuss it at the next meeting. So there's a weed abatement project in Webster at this pond called Pub Pond. And they've been required to file an expanded environmental notification form. They've been required to get a 404 cert from EPA, a 401 water quality cert from DEP, and it appears there was $200,000 in grants available from DEP to do this work. They're going to do a half an acre, and it's going to be $200,000. And the Office of the Executive Office of Environmental Affairs and Energy also put in requirements here for greenhouse gas emissions from trucks, damage to trees from haul roads, how the material's handled, how it's stockpiled, where it's finally disposed of. There's a lot of questions for this project. It's not as simple as trying to go around the commission and do something on a Sunday. It just can't happen. There was a meeting Monday when I came back to work. The Roundsvilles, the cranberry growers, showed up at our office at 10 and said, there's a meeting for Lake Street. And Joanne and I looked at them and said, no. So Joanne called over to Tanya in the selectman's office, and she said there was a meeting, but that I couldn't go. And the Roundsville said, why aren't you going? And I said, well, they're mad that I advised the commission to reject the notice of intent. And when they met with the administrator, they asked why I wasn't there, and he said he refuses to work with me. So he's gone to the chairman and tried to get the chairman to bite the hook. And the state has to be involved. And when he met with the Roundsvilles, he said they're not going to have the state involved in this, that the town's just going to do it, quote unquote. Joanne, right? Did you hear that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we can't be bypassed as a commission. It has to stop. And I don't care how bad they want to do the weed abatement. It has to be done right. And this won't be the first time and the last time. So,
well, I'm in agreement with you. It has to be done right. I reached out to Lakeville. I spoke with a member on the commission, Nancy Yeats, and I just wanted to know. And I think she's in charge of the pond that they did in Lakeville. So she told me that she would send me the notice of intent and the order of conditions, just so we can get a feel for what it is. But definitely New Bedford has to be involved. Everybody should be transparent about this. I had talked to her about, I gave her the background about, the chemical use and like that, and she interrupted me and she said, I want it banned. They wanted to do it in a small little channel off of one of their ponds, and she was totally dead set against it. She said the weed removal is so much cheaper, and the organics they get removed, so they don't go to the bottom. It's not increasing nitrogen in the water, and it is a better process. So she was all for that. I'm still waiting. She just emailed me and said, I haven't forgot about you, but I'm waiting so I can give you those two.
But if the project's still ongoing in Lakeville.
No, I think it's done.
I can speak on this, actually. I actually ran into these guys in Lakeville at Long Pond the other day, and I was wondering what they were doing, and then the guy gave me all kinds of pamphlets and stuff because I was looking into the town, because I knew a lot of people were worried about all the chemicals going into the bogs and all that, which I agree might be detrimental to their
downriver.
Right.
So I knew, as much as they seem like a reputable company. I know his prices were definitely a reputable company prices. From what he was telling me, they do a lot of work from up. They go all the way up to Maine, and they come all the way back down. And he seemed like an up and up type of person. They did have some very nice equipment. There wasn't just like some ham and egg going out there in a John boat with a weed whacker. It was like they have a lot of nice equipment that comes to the table. So even though they might not have went around it the right way, I still think we should stay open-minded about having maybe even that company do it. They did have, it was decent.
Right.
I think the price.
That's not the intent of my comment.
The intent is they gotta go through the proper channels, and
When you get no from one person, you don't go to the next person.
So when,
All right,
so
so
when
I
I
didn't
talked,
understand.
when I talked to Nancy, I had asked her if they needed, water quality certs and all that stuff, and she said the only thing they had to deal with was natural heritage. That's what she told me.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I'm waiting to see, she's gonna send me all that stuff, and I'll forward it to you and all that.
So I've got a 16-page decision from NEPA for this lake in Webster, and I'll send that out tomorrow.
All right.
The first 5 pages are really relevant to what's going on over there, but you'll see how much they're trying to bypass. There's a lot to this, and there always is.
Yeah.
And I think that Kristen pointed out that, this isn't an impounded pond, this is a river.
Well,
The water goes over the
yeah.
dam, it flows out.
It's not-
So those chemicals are going down the river too.
It's not just the,
I mean, we all agree that we got a problem. We all do, but it's gotta be done right, it's gotta be done proper permits, proper everything. No one can bypass anybody, and this board right here has to be fully involved with what's going on.
Right.
All the way,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
not discounted.
Well, I'm pretty sure they ruled out the chemical usage.
no herbicide.
So he did tell them in the meeting Monday that there would be no chemicals,
Right.
but there would be mechanical removal, but the state wasn't gonna be involved. And that's just not gonna happen, so.
Okay. Yeah, I was in touch with Scott, and he had asked about a demonstration on September 8th, and I told him, I don't see that being possible, because our next meeting is September 13th, and there's no notice of intent, and we haven't agreed to it, so.
Then you got,
Yeah,
so I'll get that out.
all right.
For some reason, Bradford Street wasn't on stormwater. Do we handle this just after?
No, we only got that in today.
So, GIF did confirm that Bradford Street is good to go, and that he's met the requirements for the infiltration units. So,
Right. So
I think that letter went to
actually-
all of you, but there's a copy of it
we had
tonight.
issued-
So I'm gonna go ahead and issue the stormwater permit for that.
Okay.
You voted contingent
Right.
upon the sign off from GIF.
Right.
Yep, yep.
All right. Excellent.
And one more thing, if I could get you guys to take one and pass these down. So I printed out, Ryan, the training documents for the CGP permit for EPA.
Yep.
And I would encourage every one of the commissioners to take this test. It's a very easy test, but what it really is to notify you of what the requirements are by EPA for NIPDs and construction general permits. So that if you're the inspector of your own job and you don't do it, they can say, you took the training and you knew better, we can give you a penalty. But there was some really good information. It is an hour-long test.
Yeah, it's a couple hours, the videos.
Yeah, I skipped the pictures because I knew what they were getting at. My daughter passed the first 4 parts of this at 7 years old,
Is that
so
how you got it done?
she did, she helped me. So if you could do it, it's not a demand, but it would be a good tool for your toolkit.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely good to have.
And if any new commissioners haven't done your ethics stuff, would you please do your ethics stuff and get them into the office? That's an online course.
What's the ethic? I was actually doing it today.
Okay.
I'm almost done. I was trying to do that, do this, do that.
It was a little dry.
They said 15 minutes, that was another thing, that wasn't 15
It was not.
minutes.
They lied.
I looked at it one time, it says 25 minutes, I'm like, she said 15 minutes!
Any update on Morton Lane?
Yes, so we received a letter from council, Morton Lane's council, giving us an ultimatum and a deadline. That was passed on to town council, and I suggested they talk to town council, because we can't talk to them about it, especially if that's his attorney. This has been turned over to town council the day it came in.
Okay.
Mind if I have the floor for a second?
Not on the agenda.
Sorry, I'm not looking for a public hearing. Just wanted to make sure that the commission had copies of the letter that I sent back in July.
So I'm not going to participate in an open meeting violation? That would make, this is not on the agenda.
I didn't get a copy.
I will. Give some this copy.
All right.
So,
So,
I-
are we
I-
entertaining this?
I think if it's not on the agenda, that should be just sufficient.
yeah. Chair, all I wanted to
Sir,
just
could you
mention.
hold up for
Yeah,
just-
sure.
just-
Are we entertaining this?
I really don't want an open meeting law violation, but I have not seen this letter, so I'll take the letter in and I'll get updates from the agent, I guess, if you know.
Yeah, if you could, and if you could follow up, or the agent could follow up with town council. I did speak to him, and he said he doesn't have authority yet to do anything on this. So we're kind of in a position where the commission won't deal with us because it's been given to town council. Town council doesn't have authority to do anything yet. So we just want to work with you guys to get this resolved. It was an odd situation that happened because of the turnover.
What's your name?
My name is Jim Marsh, and I represent the owners of 7 Morton.
If that's what he just ended, it's the
Right.
same thing. I think I've seen it already.
You've seen it?
I think the letter originally went to Chairman Rocha,
Oh,
so maybe.
Right.
all right, well, I haven't seen
Okay,
this.
so I really don't think we should entertain any
Yeah, no, I just,
discussion on this.
no discussion. I'll take the letter into consideration.
Yeah, that's it.
This is the first I've seen it.
Great. Okay.
Thank you.
You have a copy. If we can get on the next agenda, that would be great, if that's what is necessary here,
Sure, if you want me
to
to.
have a discussion.
Yeah, no problem. All right,
Thank you.
no problem. All right, future business. Next meeting for Conservation Commission will be on September 13th, 2023. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.